Um, Welcome back. I'm very happy to be back with you. I'm sorry that I was not, come closer. Sorry that I was not able to be with you last week, last Monday. I know we've talked about this a lot. Grief comes in waves, and last Monday was, Sunday, Monday was the big wave. But I wanted to share that I spent some time this weekend. Hi, Kathy. Thank you. I work with a mediumship development circle at a spiritualist church near where I live, and I adore being part of it. I don't run the circle, which is nice. I run enough circles, and I appreciate so much the people who run it, and I really love being part of it as a professional medium to help encourage younger mediums, and I don't mean young in age, I just mean, in experience, and to share messages and to give guidance and to be a mentor. And it's just an honor to me to be able to participate as just like a regular person and be there just for my own self. And well, I'm sorry that you've been missing it, but I'm so happy to be back. So, but thank you for saying that, Kathy. So it's just such a nice thing, I think, especially a lot of times when we are the teacher or we are the leader, that it's so important for us to have a place where we're not the one in charge. So if you are a leader of people, whether it's men or women or kids, if you lead, I lead a unit of women in my Mary Kay, with my Mary Kay hat on. I lead a group of women in the sister circles that I help facilitate. We're starting a new sister circle that we're going to facilitate. And we have a new mediumship event that's going to be starting here. And so for me to be able to participate as someone who leads groups of women, if you are someone or leads groups, if you are someone who leads groups, it is so important that you have a place that is not where you don't have to lead, where you don't have to be the one in charge. And it's such a blessing to be able to just go and to be able to take the hat off. And so this mediumship development circle that I attend is one of the places where I get to take the hat off and I can just be a regular person. And some of the people, there know, hey, Laura, some of the people there know the extent of the work that I do. Others don't, and it doesn't matter because it's just about showing up in support of the event and showing up in support of the young mediums. And again, I don't mean age, I just mean experience. And it's just such a lovely thing. And so I think it's also really important to recognize that when we have loss, and we've all had loss, when we have had loss, it is so, and especially as a medium, so this is the first time I've had significant loss that was really connected to me, in such an intimate way, as a medium. And so as a medium, I, had this expectation that my twin would come through to me in the way that everyone else comes through to me. And I know that really has not been the case. But I know that he is coming through. It's just about, and I'm writing about this on my blog post, is like learning another language. It's learning everything I know about mediumship is now learning it in a different, like learning now mediumship in Spanish. It's learning it in a different way because this is coming through to me in a very, very different way. And so this Sunday, and I really love supporting the church, the spiritualist church, but I'm not a member. I don't feel like I need to be a member. I'm very strong in my Jewish faith, and I'm very connected to my synagogue, and I'm very happy there. But I never really feel the need to attend the Sunday services, and this week I did. They were bringing in some guest mediums from Tampa, and I didn't really know who they were, but I just kept hearing in my head, please be there. And so I said, okay. So my husband and we drove down and we went to the service. And as soon as I got there, I recognized the couple. They had taught a class that had taken 6-8 months ago. It was a very nice class about past lives. It was very fascinating information that he was taking it from a different perspective than I had heard before. It was very fascinating. But this is not a guy who knows anything about me. And it was just, other than the president of the church hugged me when we walked in. And it was just really wonderful because I was able to have a message from my twin, and I know that that was, you know, really on me of, you know, please be there, please be there. And it was just so lovely because, you know, to get the confirmation from someone else who is not connected. And I think so many times, whether you're a medium or a psychic, you know, we talk about, you know, don't read for family members, you know, don't read for friends, people you know too much about. But whatever that, you know, whether you're a psychic medium or just a regular person and you're maybe too close to a situation to be able to have that, that perspective shift where you can take yourself out of it. And I know very, very clearly that for this particular, you know, connection, I was not going to be able to take myself out of it. So, hey, Robin. So, you know, and I accepted that I wasn't going to be able to take myself out of it. And I knew that another medium was going to need to really be the one to bring him through, at least the first time. So he's been coming through to me. But what cracked me up is when I was in Virginia back in November, I spent a week in Virginia studying with some amazing mediums. And when I was in Virginia in November, a very young medium who just, you know, really was just getting started on his path. And it was just such a joy to, you know, we were paired with so many people over the week to try and get paired with all these different people. And it was such a joy for me to be able to work with him as he brought through my grandmother. Oh, thanks, Robin. And it didn't really surprise me because my Nana comes through all the time. And I just expect, I mean, 6 of the people I was paired with up there that week brought through my Nana, and everybody got to meet Nana. And I just thought that, you know, that always makes me happy, but no one's ever brought through anything significant other than this is your grandmother. And this gentleman was able to bring through to me facts and things that no one else could possibly have known. But at the same time, the message was that she is the one on the other side who has sort of taken over for my Aunt Dora, who had been my original gatekeeper. And my Aunt Dora was the one who was really holding people at bay and organizing the folks on the other side while I was getting my shit together on this side to be able to receive all these people. So my Nana now is the gather, go get. And so my Nana is over on the other side, and she is the one rounding up the people who are connected to those who come and sit in front of me. And she's going, hey, it's your turn. Let's go. Get up here. Your person's on the couch. Get in here. And so I just was so delighted when this man that I, you know, have you know, who really doesn't know anything about me, this guest medium, was not only brought through my twin, but then right after that brought through my Nana. And it was a giggle to me because of course she was the one pushing him, you know, come on, this is the way, because, you know, to remember about my personal twin flame is that he had no belief in any of this. He believed for me, but he did not believe for himself. And even for all that he was about a science brain, he just could not get his head around this. And so he really was going to need an escort to get to the communication, you know, to the microphone. And I was just having such a giggle about it. And so I just wanted to share that little piece because, especially for those of you who've been kind of following me along on this, grief and healing and you know, coming into a new place of understanding of a new relationship with my twin, which is continuing to evolve. I don't really have a lot of answers on that yet. I know what I know in meditation and communication and things that have been given to me, but I think I'm not in the sharing yet of that. But for those who've been following along, I did want to just share that there was this really this very beautiful and cathartic connection through another medium. And so yay for all of that. But the point being in that, in whether you're a psychic medium or whether you're, you know, just living in your regular life, that so much of what we do, and that's Buddy. And so much of what we do is, you know, we are so often too close to the dots that we can't see the picture where they say the forest for the trees. And I love the paintings by Seurat, which is where you can, you know, that the dot paintings is just absolutely fantastic. And when you look at like pixelated art, that you can get right up to it and you can see the dots, but you can't see the whole image. And so a lot of times we're just too close to something. And so, all right, stop. someone has dared to walk a dog across on the sidewalk across the street. And this is Toby. He lives in my desk drawer. If you're not familiar with Toby, this is Toby. He lives in my desk drawer. So he doesn't really live there, but that's where he sits in the day, so he doesn't get sat on anywhere else. So anyway, just to have that as something to think about, because I think sometimes that we get so caught up in a situation that we're just too close to it to be able to get our own selves out of the way, to be able to work in an effective manner through whatever that situation is. So I wanted to share that. And and I know if you're following, and so many of us are following the impeachment and, you know, what's going on in the government, and it makes me just want to pull my hair out by the roots pretty much every day. And to see, you know, especially because for me, I believe that we are all connected and that we all have some kind of other in us, and that, you know, we all have the equal right to exist. And so, you know, watching what's happening, you know, in the Supreme Court, you know, weighing in on DACA and weighing in on women's rights, and you know, that the Trump administration hired or appointed a hardline anti-immigration person to be in charge of the new department that's going to be hearing and overseeing the complaints, the civil rights complaints of people who are in these internment camps. And the fact that we even have internment camps in our nation right now is just, as a Jewish woman, that just makes my everything churn. But as I've said for many, many years, I feel like this is the continuation of the fracturing, and that we are going to continue to see this, that as the light is rising, and be very clear, the light is rising. Okay, so for everything that makes me want to yank my hair out by the roots, I have hope every single day, because the light is rising. And because the light is rising, so is the dark. Okay, because more people are coming to this work, because more people are coming to meditation and enlightenment and understanding that we are all connected. We are all connected. There is not do good or go to hell. This is do good, do bad. You're going back to source, which is love. Okay, so do good. But if you're here to do bad, that's part of your soul's evolution, so that you can do good next time, or that you did good before and you need to learn that. So we're all on this journey of learning and having this, whatever these experiences are, this is all about humanity's rising, okay? And so as the light goes up, so does the dark, and we start to see more and more of this fracture. And so we're seeing this globally with unrest and disease, with this woo virus. The new virus, and from Wuhan. I'm just not pulling the name out of my head. It's not that I'm not paying attention to the news, but the fires in Australia, which is just heartbreaking. But and I'm grateful every day that my girlfriend Caitlin, who lives in Queensland in Victoria, is safe. But it's you know, we're seeing all of this with the political turmoil. We have unrest in Venezuela and in Brazil and in China and in Iraq and in the Middle East, and what's going on in Israel. Always something what's going on in Israel, and then what's going on here, of course, and Brexit. Now we have Brexit. So there is something on literally every continent. There's stop. There is literally some unrest on every continent, in every corner of the earth. And now we're also seeing there's things going on in the north of Africa as well. And so what I want to understand is that this is what is going to happen. This is what is needed to happen, because there will be this fracturing and then the break apart where the light will be able to fill in, and people are going to wake up and they're going to say, we can't do this anymore. This is not, what are we fighting for? This is not how this is supposed to go. And we have the age of light. And so what I was loving, because we've been talking about this, and we've been talking also about how so many of us expected that with January 1st, it was going to be like, poof, the end of the 2019 energy that a lot of people really struggled with, and poof, it was going to be into the happy place. And here we are, you know, and really wasn't until the full moon, the wolf moon eclipse on January 10th, that really the energy started to just, that went up to that moon and to that eclipse, and just, and then things have been starting to come down into a more manageable and into a forward momentum with energy. And so I just loved, because this was the card that was the first card today, was the Age of Light. So here we have, of course, the Age of Light. So we're watching all of these things happen that seem like it's getting darker and darker and darker. And so what I want to be very clear about sharing is that all of these things are the precursor. This is the dawning of the Age of Light. We are in the Age of Aquarius. This is the Age of Aquarius. And I keep hearing the little song in my head. So in this time, we are finally coming into that light. And so those of us who are maybe in the front of the line are coming in ahead to funnel in the Age of Light. Come on, let's go. Welcoming more people to our community of light. All the light workers like myself are out there. We're all trying to welcome more and more people to our communities, and to bring this in and say, come on, here we go. The Age of Light, here we go. And so it is. And it's the stragglers are the ones that we see that are clinging to profiteering and corruption and coercion and control and dictatorship, or in this country, mock dictatorship, or I guess maybe, what does he try to be? Monarch. So, you know, we're seeing that the people in the front of the line are moving that forward. And so in the next card we have Unbound, but it's in the protection position. I really like redirection, and it says releasing soul patterns and contracts with past lives. And so in this redirection, it's just getting you to think about it in a different way. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're bound. It just means that you want to really think about what contracts that you are letting go of, what new contracts you might be making. And as this is encouraging you to release things and to be free, where I'm feeling it is that you're not allowing that to happen. We're not allowing that to happen, because we're looking at all these things that are shifting. We think about all this unrest on the planet, and it feels very much like a giant earthquake, and we're seeing those too, these big earthquakes. And so as we're looking at all these things, we feel like we're not allowing ourselves to be unbound. We're not allowing ourselves to be free. We're being held by all of this negativity. And so I want to really encourage you to release all of that, because it is in that where we hold on to the negative, we hold on to the anger and the things that make me want to pull my hair out from my head. We hold on to those things, and those are the things that really thwart the light, and they lower our vibration. And when we release all this stuff and we allow ourselves to fly free, we raise the vibration, we raise the light, we raise the vibration for everyone. And so one of the things that we've been talking about in one of the groups that I lead is about cavitation. And so we talk about the ripples on the pond. If I drop a pebble into a little pond of water, it's going to make ripples that go out. And if you drop a pebble into the same body of water, and it's over here, and your ripples are going to go out, then our ripples are going to connect with each other. Okay, so at some point, my ripples are going to connect in with your. Stop! Every time this one barks, the guardian, Buddy, comes running. Can we see Buddy? Where's Buddy? Buddy, where are you? Come here, Buddy. Where's Buddy? There's Buddy. Buddy comes running. So, sorry if I just made you seasick. And then there's Dixie, the other dog, who's asleep in the other room because she could give a rip. Okay, so when we have this cavitation, so if my ripples are hitting your ripples, and we both dropped our pebbles into the water, and my ripples are hitting your ripples, and then they hit and they make more ripples that go out, and we cavitate off of each other, and we make more ripples. So the more that we are vibrating in the place of light, and the more we are connecting with others who are vibrating in the place of light, we are creating a higher vibration for all of us to vibrate into the light. And so it really becomes so important that we are not getting stuck with all the negativity, because you know that saying, if it bleeds, it leads, right? So what we see on the news is the negative. Now, I actually found out recently that CNN has a e-newsletter that you can sign up for that is all good news. And so I just thought that was really fabulous that they have that. I think it comes out once a week, and that they put together things that are lovely that are happening. And I think that that's really marvelous. I think it's called It's All Good. And so you might want to choose to sign up for that. But I encourage you to find and share the news of things that are going on in the world that are good and that are lovely, because they are really there if you can, if you take the time to look for them. The negative stuff is just in our face, but the good stuff we have to actually go look for. Okay. So if you allow yourself to, don't let yourself be bound by the negative. Okay. And then I love this part because the third card was leap. Leap. Let me show it to you right instead of leap. Leap. She's leaping into the moon. And I love that. And she's got like a hat. And she's got a hat on her head. Very like a fascinator hat. It might be a critter. I don't know. I can't tell. Look, she's got like a little hat on her head. Like she's British. Okay. And so I love this big, it was in the, again, in the redirection. And so this is not to be afraid to leap. Don't be afraid to leap. And especially I think right now, one of the things is about not just being, don't be afraid to leap, but also don't be afraid to share your light. Don't be afraid to share your light with others. And I really feel like so often, you know, even just when I started doing this work, even just 10 years ago, to be able to, people say, well, what do you do? And I'm like, well, and you know, if it wasn't a Mary Kay conversation, I was a little, I'm still cautious about where I you know, throw out this business card, but, or hang out this shingle, but it is much different than it used to be, because people are so much aware, you know, and I meet people all the time who are like very much more metaphysically aware than people were 10 years ago. And it is such a gift to be able to have that. So please do not be afraid to leap. Do not be afraid to share your light and to spread that light, and do not be afraid to cavitate with another person, because that light, when we share that light and we're moving together and we're bringing each other together, that makes such a huge difference. That cavitation raises the energy vibration for all of us. And so we rejoice that even though it seems like the world is going to hell in a handbasket, it's not. We're in the age of Aquarius. We're in the age of the light. The light is rising and we're cavitating off of each other. So we want to make sure we're not getting caught up in that, all that drama, and we're letting that lower our vibration. It's so important that we keep our vibration up, that we are unbound to the things of this earth. We are unbound to the things of this earth, and we are bound and connected to the things of the spirit. We are connected to the things of love, because the universe is born of love. And that in that, we allow ourselves to take the leap to really jump and share our gifts and share our light with others, because then we cavitate off of each other and we create those beautiful ripples on the pond, and we lift the vibration of everyone together. Okay, so I will post a picture of these three later. And then I did pick our postcard from the universe from the amazing Colette Baron Reid. As usual, I just reach into the box. I don't look at them before this very minute. I just reach into the box of all the cards and I say, give me the one that we're supposed to have today. And I reach into this box, and the postcard is always something really remarkably connected to what we've been talking about. So it says, dearest you, we're a chatty bunch over here, always talking about how to support you in your life's journey. We communicate to you through the language of oracles, dreams, signs, metaphors, and omens. In your life on earth, however, clarity in your communication is essential to being understood. You don't speak in symbols, and if you did, you would definitely confuse things. Right now, you're facing a situation in which you're being asked to have integrity, be clear, and learn how to ask for your needs to be met. The first step is to admit out loud that you have needs. We have needs, and it's okay, because self-care is so critical. Self-care, you must. And if you've been following me, you know that I have been really preaching that, because I really needed that for myself. So the second step is to ask out loud for your needs to be met. And the third is to allow the other person, organization, or even us to answer you. When you follow these steps, you can most definitely expect an answer in your favor. Affirmative, we say. Loving you so very much. So, wow, this is like the first one that didn't like really spot on connect, but I do still feel like it connects a little bit in that really in the rising of the light, it is so much about valuing ourselves, because the language of love, the universe is the language of love. The universe is born of love. And so if we are not taking care of ourselves, then we can't do these other things. When we get stuck in the places where we are not taking care of ourselves, we get stuck bound to the things of earth and not allowing ourselves to be unbound so that we can take the leap to go forward. So Oop, wrong card. So I'm going to leave that with you. As always, we do have I do have a YouTube channel, and I will take this video and post it on our YouTube channel. And as always, if you like this video, please share it with your friends. We're over like 455 people in our community of light, and it just blesses me every day. And I just am so grateful for the love and support, especially from so many of you as we've been going through this difficult time. It is really just my honor to be able to support you as you come into your journey of light and into your place, understanding you have such an important part in the universe. And if there's something I can do to support you, please don't hesitate. I would love to ask you to continue to share the video, invite your friends to like this page, and let's hit 500. I would like to give away a free reading, a free 30-minute reading to anyone who is sharing with a friend, and that when we get to 500, you tag your friends, share our page, invite them to like our page, and when we get to 500, we will offer up a free reading for a free 30-minute reading. It would be my pleasure to do that. So make sure that when you share this video or you invite someone, that you share it from this page so that we know that you did it, so you can get entered in and put your name down for the free reading, and invite your friends to come and like the page, tag them and invite them over. Let's spread the light. Let's cavitate off some more people, and let's share the light. Have a spectacular day, and thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me.